Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Choma of Choma Stitches. Today we are going to be sewing a 3-layered puffy sleeve. Also come back for the next sewing tutorial where we sew the complete gown. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. We're going to start by drafting our basic sleeve. I'm folding this paper into two so I can get the right width I need. Divide your bust measurement by 12 and whatever you get, that's what you're going to use to mark the second marking I'm creating, and that is to indicate where your armhole stitching is going to be. Next, you divide your bust measurement by 6 and add 1.5 inches to it. Now this is the same thing you do when you are marking out your armhole. So you're going to use the same method to mark out the box for the sleeve, and here I'm going to be dividing the bust measurement by 6 and I'll add 1.5, so I'll be approximating the 7.16 to 7.2 inches. Next, I'm going to be marking a diagonal line on the box of the sleeve, on the upper box where we are going to be marking out the armhole stitching, and then I'll find the center of this diagonal line. I'm going to mark it. So from this center of the diagonal line, I'm going to come up by 0.25, and then I'll also come down by 0.25 at the center there. And then with my curved ruler, I am going to marking the back part of the sleeve on the upper 0.25 and the front part of the sleeve on the lower 0.25 markings at the center. Then I'm going to be curving my ruler to connect these two 0.25 to the end of our box. And so the upper curve indicates the back of the sleeve and the lower curve indicates the front part of the sleeve. Next, you are going to divide your bicep, and whatever you get, you are going to mark it and connect it to the armhole box, and the length of this sleeve we are drafting is 6 inches. The full length of the sleeve is 23 inches, and so we've divided this into 3, and I'm using 6 inches for the upper part of the sleeve, 12 inches for the middle layer, and the 5 inches for the last layer. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut out my pattern, and then I'm going to use my tape rule and tape these two pieces of paper together so that we can now mark out the difference between the front part of the sleeve and the back part of the sleeve. You have to skip this step if your pattern paper was wide enough to accommodate the full width of the sleeve. And so now I'm going to cut out the difference between the back piece and the front piece from one side of the sleeve, and here you have it. Now this is one of the layer of the sleeve. This is the center layer, this is the top layer, and this is the down part. Now this is the down part of the sleeve. Now this is the down part of the sleeve. As you can see, this one is on fold. Now this one has both the crepe fabric and the lace fabric underneath. So when you're making this design, you are going to be using a lot of fabrics depending on the size of the person you're working for or your size. Okay, so this is it. So the sleeve, we're using both the crepe and the lace piece for the center piece. For the upper piece of the part of the sleeve, we're using just the lace, and the lower part we are using just the lace. I'm going to be running a loose stitch on this end of the middle piece, and I'm going to be gathering it to match the width of the upper part of the sleeve. I'll do the same thing for the down part and also for the lower piece. Now also gather this one as well and make them become equal. I'm going to gather this one and gather this one to match the width of the cuff where it's going to be sitting on. So you're going to measure the cuff and gather it to match. So this is what I am working towards, as you can see. And then to create borders on this lace, the lace came like this, but you can alter it. You can take out the upper part of this lace and reveal this beautiful border we have here. So all I did was just cut. Look at this piece. As you can see, what I did was just cut out this very close to the body of the lace. When you're doing it, try to eliminate all these thread pieces so that it will give you a nice border. Okay, that is for lace. If you're working with a lace fabric or a fabric that has a border that you want to work with and the border does not start exactly where this other one starts. Anyway, that is that part. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now for the sleeve is open it up, and then I'm going to gather it. I'm going to run a straight stitch to gather this together. I run a loose stitch on it, holding the crepe fabric and the lace piece together, as you can see. So I have a loose stitch I've run on it from one end to the other, and then this is the other layer. I have also attached the other layer. Look at how I've attached it. I have also run a loose stitch on it. I'm going to be gathering this one as well to be enough for the cuff. So this is supposed to be quite full. That is why it has the effect it has. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is find the middle of this. Let me separate the sleeve first, and I'm going to be indicating where the front is by marking out with my chalk. just stain it a little bit so that I will know where the front part is. So now I'm going to find the center of the sleeve. I'm going to find the middle of the sleeve here. I'm going to pin it. I'm going to find the middle of this one, this upper part. I'm going to be attaching the two of them right side to right side. Now let's lay this in reverse, lay it like so. Now what I'm going to do is pull on this. I am going to pull on this and push it all the way until it matches the length of the half of the sleeve. Okay, so to do that, I like to also divide it into partitions again. I like to divide it again so that it will help me even out the spread of the gather. Okay, so I've divided this into two again, this into two, and I'm going to pin it together. So now I'm going to start pulling on one of it. So you make your stitch very loose so that you can pull on it. And I'm going to pin this too. When it matches, you pin it together. As you can see, I've gathered the center piece to fit the length of this upper piece. Now I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to pull on this one and gather it until it becomes the size of the cuff that we work with. I'm going as you can see. So I've gathered it all together and look at how full this is looking already. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sew. I'm going to go ahead and match it because I'm using pins to hold it together now. I'm going to go ahead and sew both of them, and then I'll turn it over. I'm going to turn it over like this, and I'm going to also go ahead and sew to reveal our complete sleeve. And here it is. I have sewn it. I've used my mat. I've sewn it together to hold it together so that you don't need any pin to put it together on both sides, and I've matched it. So let's turn it inside out and see and reveal our sleeve. Okay, so this is the sleeve and this is it. And so guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like this video and share it. Also, don't forget to come back for our next sewing tutorial so that you will see how we attach this to a dress, and of course the sewing tutorial of the full dress you see on the top right hand corner of this video. See you guys in my next sewing tutorial. Bye.